Right now, Ethereum is breaking out of one of its most important trend lines, and I am betting massive multi-million-dollar positions on this. And while this is happening, the spot Ethereum ETF is hitting record inflows like we've never seen before. We are seeing BlackRock buying millions of dollars every single day. We are seeing large companies buying also more than $140 million in one go. And yes, this is only just the beginning for Ethereum, but of course, more importantly, I also want to be talking about my massive trades I currently have open on Bitcoin, because truly we are in that calm before the storm, since the majority of the liquidity is piling up above us right now. So I'm exactly gonna discuss this and much more on today's update video. So don't forget to once again slap that like button back above 1,000 likes. It will be highly appreciated. And let me jump straight away in towards today's update video. So first of all, in yesterday's video, of course, I discussed the fact that money is of course rotating towards Ethereum. And that trend is of course still continuing to be happening. Of course, we were also looking at this major symmetrical triangle. This exact symmetrical triangle is now starting to break out towards the upside. And you can see basically that this downward sloping resistance line here on the top side is the most important level of resistance for Ethereum. And currently, clearly, we have broken above it. So that is very great news for Ethereum. And honestly, if I'm also looking at the Bitcoin price action, we are trading in this bull flag pattern, which whenever we're going to be breaking out, we're going to be seeing a massive move, which is of course going to once again allow you to take a massive trade here. But more importantly, I think the next move is actually more easy to predict than most people are saying, because of course it is boring right now the last few periods. Bitcoin has been consolidating sideways, Ethereum also creeping up ever so slightly, but still also a little bit boring in this range between 3,500 to 3,800 US dollars. But clearly, if I'm looking at the liquidity heat map, we are seeing a ton of liquidity being piled up above us, especially around that 120,000 US dollar region. So since we're piling up so much liquidity on the top side and not necessarily a lot on the lower side, I think it is going to be actually very, very likely that Bitcoin is going to be moving towards the upside from off this point here. So always whenever the liquidity is being built up on one side, Bitcoin tends to be grabbing it. And yes, I mean, I can't really say much about this consolidation phase, except the fact that, yeah, currently after this major rally towards the upside, we're just consolidating ever so slightly. And actually the best time to be opening up trades on Bitcoin or altcoins is obviously whenever Bitcoin comes down, right? So of course, that is also exactly what I've been doing. I mean, my Bitcoin trade is still in a slight little loss here, but I am accumulating if it is going to come down once again towards these lower sides of the range here. But ultimately, I am looking at the bull flag pattern, which a price target is going to be all the way up to about $130,000. And I am anticipating just another breakout towards the upside from off this point onwards. And really what I'm expecting as well is, of course, this big continuation for Ethereum. I've been calling, of course, Ethereum to go up ever since $1,600. It has been absolutely doing exactly what we've been willing. And of course, right now, if I'm just purely looking at Ethereum, we have also broken above the downward sloping resistance line. And more importantly, the iShares Ethereum ETF is ranking 2 out of more than 4,000 ETFs on number of inflows. So guys, you can clearly see it. The United States of America is aping in towards Ethereum. The only one ahead of it was the S&P 500 ETF. So it is just massive what is currently happening. There's a massive rotation happening, and literally we are right now entering phase 2. We can see it from all the data in the Bitcoin bull market. And of course, many of you guys also know how I think about this bull market, obviously, because this bull market is most likely going to be exactly the same like the previous ones. So what are we going to be expecting? We're going to be expecting also a very similar timing on this bull run. So for me, realistically speaking, I think we have about 2 months left in this bull market. And that is why I really think we are going to be doing very well in this last 2 months of this bull market. Because historically, always in those last 2 months, the gains are always the biggest. You can see it, of course, happening on Ethereum. You can see it, of course, also happen on Bitcoin. Always those last 2 months is where the biggest gains are realized. And of course, it is more so on altcoins. And that is why I'm betting with these trades, which some of them are in a slight little loss right here. But of course, for example, my Ethereum trade is in about $170,000 profit, because I've got 2 of them open. One is 30K profit, one $140,000 profit. So yeah, those are compensating, and ultimately I deposited $1 million in towards my account, and currently it is worth about $1 million, and and currently it's about worth $1,020,000 US. So it is still doing just perfectly as of this moment of time here. And guys, if you want to be trading on the massive rotation that is about to be happening, which I definitely believe is going to be happening, and of course on that rotation, whenever it does happen, I'm going to be making a lot of money. There's of course an insane deposit bonus right now up for the grabs, because if you sign up using the first link in today's video description, guys, you have to understand it, you will get a free $100 rewarded to your account by signing up an account and confirming your email. By the way, it's only available using this link. I see some people saying, oh, I didn't got the $100, but please guys, you have to also use this link, confirm your email and your phone number in order to receive it, and it can take up to 48 hours to come into your account. And on top of that, you will get an insane 25% rebate if you use that link. So they will make this literally the cheapest exchange out there to be using. And of course, you can still get this fee rebate if you sign up an account before the 31st of July. So you've got about 5 days left here. So make sure to quickly check it out in the link description of today's video, because this bonus is going to be ending. And of course, with this 25% rebate, VX is by far, it was already, but by far the best choice out there in the market. So make sure to check it out right now in the link description of today's video. Further on, I want to discuss, right, the fact, of course, we do know the timing of this market, but we also do know the fact that, of course, as long as the M2 money supply is going to keep on growing, the chances that Bitcoin is going to continue higher with it are going to be quite big here. And of course, the next leg on the M2 money supply is also about to start anytime soon here. And we can see the M2 money supply is still hitting new all-time highs here, which is, of course, something very crazy. And of course, one of the big reasons also why Bitcoin is going to go higher is the stablecoin supply here, because ultimately, as long as there are going to be more stable coins, there's going to be more buy pressure entering the market, and that ultimately is going to be lifting the market extremely much higher. So something I am definitely looking at right now on this moment of time here. Also, what is important, Sharplink Gaming, the big company, the MicroStrategy of Ethereum, just transferred over 145 million USDC to Galaxy Digital, which also has stated multiple times before that they want to be aping in towards Ethereum. So before we got the news of that they sold off their Bitcoin, and apparently they sold their Bitcoin to be accumulating Ethereum, which is of course something very, very crazy. And also another stat here, guys, once again, yesterday on the spot Ethereum ETF, we saw $450 million worth of inflows, and on Bitcoin $130 million. So there's a big rotation happening. Literally this last week, we have seen so much inflows coming in towards Ethereum, and Bitcoin has been struggling ever so slightly, right? So there's a big change happening. You can see it also on the ETH compared to Bitcoin valuation. Of course, the last few days, this week, we basically struggled ever so slightly, but recovered already, and we're just looking to create that next breakout towards the upside, especially whenever we break above that high right there. So honestly, I think it's looking quite strong here. Ethereum, you can see it's a very strong recovery, just like Bitcoin did back in 2020. And yeah, whenever we clearly are going to be breaking above the range high, which is going to be sitting around $4,000 approximately, that is that high right here. If we can break above this high, guys, yeah, then most likely we're going to be flying up towards new all-time highs here. But for sure, I won't want you to be delusional. This is going to be a massive level of resistance for the Ethereum price action. So make sure to pay attention towards that. But most of the charts, most of the indicators are currently predicting it is going to be an altcoin month here. So yeah, this is definitely one of the better periods in the market. You can see it also in CoinGlass. We are predicting we are entering an altcoin season right now. And with that having said, guys, with this start of altcoin season, it is going to be very likely that the altcoins that I've been opening up long positions on, like some of them are in profit, some are not, but they can be really exploding like 2 or 3x towards the upside. And with me having these 10%, 10x leverage trades open, I can literally make 1000% of profit here. So that is why I have these trades open, because I am betting very heavily on this rotation from phase 2 to phase 3, which also always ends at that later stage of the cycle, which I am very much betting on. I mean, this has been my strategy all the way along here, and it's exactly how I'm going to be playing it. So guys, still make sure to check out VX in the link description of today's video. It's definitely the best exchange out there right now. And with that being said, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.